All right, folks, welcome. It's Tuesday, September 5th, our afternoon update for our non-VIPs. Of course, if you're a VIP, you're welcome to listen in to our afternoon update. All right, the main purpose of this show, 10 a.m. and see how we did and give an update on them. So our top 2 to 3 picks, top 2 picks are really about uranium. It was short CCJ for a short period of time. You won't believe this. At 9 a.m., we said, you know what? We think CCJ can flip green. We had a very short on it this morning, which actually made money on. You had to have a good entry and exit. That was tough. But then we closed it right away, right at the open, basically. And we didn't go long. We suggested going long uranium, URNM, as a hedge against that short CCJ. It's amazing how that worked out. That CCJ flipped green on this bad news on their production. We talked to you about why it would be good news. Went through all that this morning. So pretty interesting seeing that flip to green. We called it this morning. CCJ, uranium. Now, uranium doing great. URNM ETF here. And if you look at the 1-year high is 41.14. That's my next target. $41.14. That's the next target on URNM. UUUU, really much the same over here. Let's see, 52. This might have a little bit more room. 52-week high here is 809, 809. You got some top candles here, like 790. I think UUUU might have a little bit more room than uranium ETF. And so, but those were the top two picks. It was a quick short on CCJ, flip to green, and then green on uranium. All right. Next pick we had for you was Intel on the TSM news. And we talked about this triple top. And if we could break it, we can make a move to 40 to 45. Well, we did kind of break it. Look at this. It was 37.19 was the high. Around 37, we talked to you on the morning show. We rounded it to 37, but to the penny, if you look at it, it was 37.19. We're below it now. So this one, if we close above this 37.19, I'm already call. I did already call it actually, because intraday we went above that level. We hit 37.41. So what did I call? A swing trade to 40 to 40. Where is it? Here it is. That 200-day moving average. Okay, 40 to 46. Let's call it. It's going to be moving down that average. Hold on. Let me switch this to. Is that the weekly? What's going on here? Okay, that's the 200-week moving average. That's the 200-week moving average. Where's the daily? All right, here we go. The daily, we're above all the key moving averages on the daily. So 40 is your resistance candles from about a year ago right there. So 40 to 46, but that's declining. This would be kind of like a swing. I'm going to call it 45. See the bottom of all these? This used to be support. So let's stick with 44, all right? And that's basically kind of forecasting that this 200-week moving average will go down over the next couple of weeks, and maybe it can meet up at 44. So 40 to 44 target on Intel, swing trade on this TSM news and this breakout of this double top. All right, so that's what we're looking at on Intel. That was our number 3 pick of the day, CCJ, uranium, Intel. After that, we didn't have a lot of high conviction picks for today. We'll get to Overstock in just 1 second. It's doing great. We'll talk about it. Tesla's doing great, but we didn't give you high conviction picks. We gave you stuff we were watching. DWAC on news, XXII on news. It's up 20%. But I'm actually looking to short this. See some resistance at 170. There's some resistance at $2. I don't know if it's going to get back to 170. I think on the news this morning, this is actually a good short, but I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. It's scary to short, so I don't know. If we get back to 170, we might short a little bit. If we move to 2, we'll short more. If we break 2, that's when we start shorting big on XXII on the news that came out this morning. And we're just watching DWAC. It did get approved. Okay, at this point, I want to tell you, I have a downward bias on this. On DWAC, I think all the news is out. Like all the good news is out. It got approved for a 1-year extension. So in my view, the gravity is going to be towards the down. I just don't see what's going to pull it up here at this point. So 1688 getting a little bit of a pop. It got a bigger pop earlier, pulled back. So I'm looking at DWAC maybe pulling back over the next several days after really all the good news is out of the way for now. All right, XXI, we're talking about that, shorting that on a pop. I don't know why SMSI is down. If anyone knows, let us know. Down 5%. A little bit surprised to see that, but it did bounce right off the 20 DMA. Could have just been some technical trading, someone pushing it down towards the 20, and that's it. I'm not sure if anyone has any information on why that's down. Let us know. Okay, so we're going to get to Overstock in just 1 second, continuing to monitor other stocks in our list, like APRN, which continues to be bullish as long as it holds that 20 DMA, which it's doing right now. RRGB, which I don't know, man. This was holding 10. I was looking for 11 to 12. We're still in this from last week, and it's not quite working out. So if it breaks 10, I may have to get stopped out of it. That's RRGB. Move on over. By the way, LLAP, keep that higher on watch. I think we could get good news soon on LLAP from Lockheed Martin. And wow, RUM flip green. We're watching the news on RUM. CEO Chris Pavlowski telling us he's not going to be selling his shares when the lockup expires in a week or so. So nice reaction out of that after it got taken to the woodshed right at the open. I'm not sure why it went down at the open. All right, I want to get to Overstock. If you have any questions, any stocks you want me to cover, put it in the chat right now so I can get to it right after Overstock. Now, Overstock, a couple things going on, a couple big things. First of all, technically, it's battling the 20 DMA. I think it's above it. Tell you the truth, I think right now, but it matters where it closes. Let me get the precise number on the 20 DMAs, $27.37. Okay, it's right there. Oh my gosh, it's really battling that 20 DMA, 27.37. If we close above this, I think you got a straight shot to $30, which also happens to be the top of this candle right here on August 16th. So that's your target. That's a big move. That's like a 10% move from $27.37 to $30, and I think it could happen quickly. All right. So the technical's looking good for Overstock. Now, one other really good item, and then we get to one bad item. Good item is this. Overstock yesterday was number 5 in the App Store. Right now it's number 6. It was number 5 ahead of Shop. It was right behind. Amazon was 3, Walmart was 4, Bed Bath was 5. This was the best ranking ever, probably ever, but definitely ever since we've been monitoring this since the buyout. So very impressive app ranking numbers, and I think that has something to do with the strength this morning. However, we did do a deep dive. Hold on a second. Some comments here. Yep. APRN. We just covered that, Aaron. So, Aaron, all right. We're gonna get back to Overstock in just a second. But Aaron, I did just cover APRN still looking bullish because it's holding that 20 DMA. Okay, so we did cover that. Now going back to Overstock. Remember, for our VIPs, we did a program last Wednesday. You can see it in full. Now, I can't give you all the details here on this public stream, but based on that analysis we did last Wednesday, by the way, we're doing it again tomorrow, 4 p.m. We have a Zoom again. But based on the Zoom we did with our special guest last Wednesday, we had calculated that Overstock could have a rapid re-rating to the $50 to $100 range. 50, honestly, more like 75 to 100, like a rapid re-rating. And we're thinking it could be kicked off. It could be kicked off with a press release that would come any day about how great August sales numbers were. At this point, I think that's off the table. All right. We went through the math. There was a miscalculation that our special guest did last Wednesday. I went in and I double checked the math. I looked at the raw data, and I'm getting to a place where based on what we think revenue is, it's good. It's a nice bump sequentially, but it's not of the 100% variety, which would foretell a press release right before the quarter's up. It's more of the 20 to 25% variety in terms of their business going up right now. All right, and I have very high confidence in these numbers at this point. What's that mean for the stock? It means that the upside, when you look at the historical comparison between revenue and price, the upside is more like $35 to $40 rather than $75 to $100. Okay, that, I mean, maybe we're too crazy anyway. We were 75 to 100. What are you talking about? We should have known, right? But anyway, so that's still good, right? From $27 to go to 35 to 40. That's still very good. Business is still very brisk, just not as big as we thought, but that could always change. We're monitoring numbers. Now I have a very solid way of estimating the revenue that I'm on top of myself, and I can validate myself, not relying on anybody else. We could do that. And as of right now, I have high confidence that the revenue is going to come into a place where the street would value the stock at $35 to $40. All right, that's the story with Overstock. If you want more details, if you want to be part of our Zoom, we'll get into it. I'll maybe even show you the actual calculations I'm doing. We could do that tomorrow, 4 p.m. on Zoom. So that's the story with Overstock. ENVX rings a bell. I don't know ENVX well from Mike K. Isn't even on my watch list. I'm not even sure. Let's see. ENVX, ENVX Corporation. What do we have? Morgan Stanley conference next week. First podcast. Was this the one on our app? Let's see. Let's see what's going on in our app here. Someone had put something in. DLPN. No, it's DLPN NXST. And idea by William. Thank you for that. And ARDX. So no, I'm not too familiar with ENVX. ENVX, Advanced Silicon Battery Company. What do we hear about this recently? There's a battery. No, I don't know it well, so I don't know what to tell you on this. So we have a catalyst coming up. Thank you, Mike, for that catalyst from Morgan Stanley. Where did I hear about it? I did hear about something about ENVX recently. There was also, I think, EOSE. Is that a battery company as well that we talked about recently? Yeah, also battery related. Then that's down after the big news last week. So I don't have much to add on that ENVX. Let me see if there's a technical analysis I can give on it. It's really just not going anywhere. It's just kind of steady, consolidating, waiting for that news that you're talking about. 20 DMA at about 1468. But to me, nothing imminent that makes me want to jump into the stock based on what I know. Keep us updated on that, Mike. If you join our app, it's free to install the app, and you can actually post something right here on ENVX like this, and you can update our community on what's going on, put in the catalyst, whatever you'd like. There we go, ENVX, and put in some information, links, videos, anything. Not videos. I don't think we can do videos. Maybe we can. No, I think it's just photos. And then the other thing I want to show you, let's say if you pull up ENVX and add it to your watch list, even if it's not on your watch list, you can pull it up, pull up our data mine, and you get a news feed on here. And if there's anything in this news feed, here it is, participate in upcoming investor conference. So you can always hit that plus sign and put it in right there. And then everyone in our community will know about that, Mike. So you can go ahead and do that. It's not my pick, so I don't want to put that in there. Okay, so let's head on back to what we're looking at here from the top of our show. CCJ Uranium. Intel having a little trouble. I hope this doesn't get triple blocked. I'm in it now. I'll have to monitor it closely because this could end up being... How often do you see triple tops, though? The reason I'm thinking it'll break out because I don't see triple tops often. Once you have a double top and you go challenge it, and my experience has been you break out above it. So that's why I have a bias towards the upside on Intel on that TSM news. And did I talk about Tesla? Tesla has a 256 at resistance at the 50 DMA, and then last week's high of about 260. So 256 and 260 are the two resistance levels on Tesla. And then SMCI, I talked about this morning. I still think this looks good from imminent breakout to 298, roughly $300 on SMCI. So that's still looking good. All right. So I think that's all I have. And XXII down to 148. So if there's no other questions, I see a bunch of people on Rumble. Don't see any questions or comments. So we will be back for our VIPs tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. You can go to storytrading.com/app, get a 1-week free trial. So I'll see you on that video at 9 a.m. live. And then we'll do 4 p.m. for our VIPs on Zoom. Nice, small, intimate crowd of usually just a few people. I think last week we had maybe 10 or 15 people because we had a special guest, but it'll be a nice small crowd. It's not recorded, so we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, do due diligence on whatever stocks you want to do together. That's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thanks for joining, everyone. We'll see you later. And here's a little bit more information about story trading.
It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. Story Trading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.